they want to pay for that as an insurance policy. So they never ever have to worry about money, ever. There's no good answer, but just make up an answer.
I'm not gonna answer the question. So,
what would your parents pay
like
to
money?
never have to worry about money?
Quite a bit. They pay a good amount of money.
Quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
Now, insurance policy is basically you pay for the insurance. If you never use it, you no longer have that money, right?
Right.
But if you use it, then the insurance policy will cover you, right? So you're actually giving money away just for that protection. Imagine if I told you that the insurance policy, if you never used, it would still be yours.
That would be up there.
Yeah, it's called savings. What percentage of people in the United States live paycheck again?
76.
Yeah. So do you think that maybe your parents are in that loop? Okay, at least one of two of three, possibly. Paycheck to paycheck doesn't mean that you can see it, because there's ways to go around it. You got home equity lines of credits. You got all these things that sort of buffer your ability to not have a job. But when's the last adult you know that basically said, "Oh, I'm quitting my job. I don't feel like looking for it. I'm just gonna hang out for like a year, and then maybe I'll go back to work." Other than kids. My little brother got what do you call it? I'm losing my mind at this point. Fired. What's it called? What? No, it's just called when they fire a whole bunch of people. When they
laid off?
Laid off. Yeah. I'm losing my mind. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because I thought you were like looking over here.
You know, like, I know where your mind is. My mind's there too, because I haven't eaten since yesterday. So ultimately, I'll tell you a quick thing about that. Remind me where I am, okay? Hibachi. Okay. Or what am I? Oh, being laid off. Is my you know when you begin to realize that the reality that your mind creates isn't real? Like, I fasted for 5 days. Just didn't eat for 5 days. I worked out every day, worked 10-hour days in Bentonville. I went mountain biking, slept, did my normal shit. And 5 days later, I remember like sitting there at night at like 9 o'clock at night, and I said, should I just keep doing this? Do I feel any other benefit that I really care for? I was like, no, I'm just gonna eat, not really a big deal. So I ate a little small dinner just because I was like, but the greatest benefit I got from that was that it's all in your mind. Your unhappiness, your happiness, everything's in your mind. All right, but anyways, back to I was talking about hibachi, so I just brought it up. So my brother got laid off, and guess what he did? He just said, I'm just gonna chill. So he didn't work for like 2 years, I think. Then he went to California, Silicon Valley, then works there now, and he's fine. He's got good savings habits. Okay, my little sister, she worked in Silicon Valley as well. She's in San Fran as well. She actually was offered a promotion, and she turned it down. And then she actually resigned like a couple months later. And then she decided to just go to Africa and help a nonprofit for a while. And then she did what she wanted. She found her own self or whatever. And she moved back to California and now works for a nonprofit.
Wow.
When you live paycheck to paycheck and you live in that security zone, you're never gonna be happy. You're always gonna feel like there's this underlying thing that you can't see or touch that holds you down, and you just wonder what it is, but you just can't place it. Now you know. Okay. So save. Do you ever hear of the marshmallow experiment
Wait, with children?
with kids?
Yeah. Give a
All right.
marshmallow, wait.
Yeah. So what was the finding for that study? You remember?
The kids waited, most of them.
And what happened with those kids?
They got more marshmallows.
Yeah.
Stronger self-control.
Oh.
What was the conclusion of the study?
The conclusion of the studies, they were happier than the ones that ate them
They,
temporarily.
in almost all metrics, they achieved a higher level of success within like they followed them I think for 20 years or so.
Yeah.
All of them in every metric, they were more successful. Academics, work, whatever. Okay. So, how are you gonna save? Who has a savings account? Just so I know. Okay. Is it sort of painful sometimes to click money from your checking to your savings?
Every now and then.
Every now
Yeah.
and then.
And every once in a while you slide it back to the checking.
Every now
Every now
and
and
then.
then.
So it really is just a backup checking account almost.
Sometimes it feels like that.
That's what it feels like, right? That's willpower. That's not what you want. I'm gonna give you the little secret that has created all my wealth and success. It's so easy. You go to a bank that's not connected with your bank, online checking account, a savings account somewhere else, and you open a savings account. It's not attached to a card or anything else like that. Then all you do is go to Carmen,
Carmen.
your employer,
Oh.
Okay.
and not me because I won't do it because I'm lazy as shit. Okay. All you do is tell her, can you put in $20 every paycheck for me into this new account? And that new account you never see, you never look at, you just let it happen. And one day it grows into crazy amounts of money. And when you don't feel, do you ever find $20 in your jacket pocket?
Yes.
You're like, yes.
The happiness of
But you never missed it. See, free money.
Never missed it.
'Cause you never saw it in the first place. I live a wonderful, happy life because I don't have to willpower saving. To this day, I still save. I just buy Bitcoin now. But ultimately, I have a massive amount of Bitcoin. But ultimately, how do I put it? If you end up trying to take that money and just start investing into like things like stocks or Bitcoin, that's the wrong idea. Don't do that, okay? But if you save up enough where it's like a 6-month emergency fund where it covers your entire life,
yeah.
then you have the freedom to begin to invest. Okay? Think of it like that. And every time you feel like you never missed it, so what I did was I didn't start with $20 because I was already out of college. I started with like $100. And then it went up to 150 when I was like, I don't even notice it. It's like barely even noticeable. And I kept moving it up. But finally, I sort of got stuck around the 200 mark. It's a decent amount of money at that, every paycheck. But then every time I got more money, like a raise or whatever, I just took half of that raise and automatically allocated it. So let's say I made 50,000, all of a sudden I got a raise to 70. I just told my HR person, hey, that 10,000 out of the 20 extra I make, can you put it into my, divided by 26 weeks, which is every other week of paychecks, can you just put it into this same savings account along with the $200 I already have? So I've gained the benefit of making more money, but it's half of it. So I have a better life and more happy, maybe. And then 2, I get the benefit of saving more and beginning to compound that effect. Okay? How do you think I save for Frugalicious? It's sort of hard to be 29 years old, not have any investors, not borrow any money, and open a multi-million-dollar company at this point. Took a while, but ultimately we're here. So, you know what? Why I think people think they're entrepreneurs now? Most entrepreneurs now are just trust fund babies.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, let's get a round of investment. seed money. Da da da. They own a tiny little percentage, and then they make their idea. What is that? This is a glorified employee. You're never gonna be like. That's why people offer me money all the time, and I go, I don't want to be your slave. What the fuck? If I want to make more money, I make more money. I work harder. If I want to make less money, I be lazy. And you've seen me lazy. Sometimes I'm not here for like a year, and that's how it goes. But I get to choose my destiny. And if you guys, I would recommend that you should always have in your head that one day you're gonna run your own business. Because one day you're gonna realize that the system traps you if you're not owning your own business. And we'll explain that. Remind me towards the end, okay? So there's types of savings, which is emergency, long-term, and investments, okay? I'm not gonna teach you how to save up for retirement, but I think a Roth is good. A Roth IRA, like you asked me yesterday, it's I think one of the best things you can start when you're 18. I think the maximum you could put in is like $5,000 per year, so it's not a lot of money. But if you start at 18, you're gonna do fine, okay? I would recommend it. The fact that if I have to teach you how to invest, it means you didn't do shit. You just want to be lazy and show up to a meeting and learn how to do stuff, okay? I promise you, it's as easy as anything else you're gonna learn in medical school, okay? All right. Self-management. You live in a prison of your own mind, okay? Actually, I have a better thing. I have a better way to do this.